So I don't have a lot of battery time, so I'm not going to be on very long. This is the time to manifest what you want. You have this, I believe you have the 12th through the 15th of the month. And this is the time for you to step up. I wish I had more battery time, but in a way, it's all for the best. Hang on. For you to step up. I wish I had more battery time, but in a way, it's all for the best. Hang on for a quick sec. Okay, so welcome. Hi, Becca. It's good to see you. Alisa, how are you? So yeah, we don't have a lot of time. My battery is going to go dead, which is probably for the best anyway, because there's not much I need to say. I've put out 2 videos that you guys can check out. One is to manifest a new soul contract with your twin flame. Hey, how are you, Jen? It's good to see you. Tony, it's good to see you. So check out the video. It's, if you want me to expand on it, I mean, basically I just gave you like the, how would I put it? The foundational structure, but you do your thing, you know, do what you want to do with it. Like listen to it a couple times and then make it your own. It's not meant to be verbatim. It's just, hi, Becca. I miss you too. I miss, yeah. Hey, Debbie. So when you look at the videos, go ahead and work on that. Just check it out. Feel free to share it with people that you think would benefit, obviously, you know. And I'm very proud of you, Becca, with what you're doing. So I'm not going to be on too long because I have the alarm clock on because I know that I probably have 10 minutes worth of battery. Tony and I are setting up men's groups, and it looks like it's taking off, thank God. And there is a movie. I did a review real quick. Honestly, I didn't watch it, and I'm gonna be blunt. I just saw the Reader's Digest. I saw like basically a Cliff's Notes, and real quickly, and Rachel actually turned me on to that. And I'm gonna ask you something when you look at stuff like this. So the Obamas made this movie. I'm bringing that up for a reason, and they had a choice as to what content they would make. By the way, it's based on a book. And apocalyptic stuff has been made for quite some time. The Bible was one of the, Revelation that was being used to control the masses. Be very careful what you're digesting right now. Like, Rachel turned me onto it. I watched the Reader's Digest, and then I did my impressions on it, because if you were going to be let me ask you this, because I know your hearts. If you had $100 million, kind of like what Mel Gibson did when he did The Passion of the Christ. He had 20 million. That's what it took for him to make that movie. And it made hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's a very worthy movie to watch, by the way, for many reasons. But if you had $100 million and you had a $20 million budget to make a movie, would you have made that kind of movie? Or would you have made a movie that showed the new earth and what was possible and how beautiful it could be? Just ask yourself that. If you had a choice, and these people had a choice to make anything they wanted, I'm actually not kidding, anything at all, and they chose to make a movie that apparently, from what I'm seeing, is confusing the masses. And again, here we go again with grabbing masses, confusing them and putting them in fear vibration. Particularly right now, there's a couple things going on that are happening at once. There's what's going on in the Gaza Strip. There's what's going on in Sudan. There's what's going on now in Lebanon. There's what's going on in the UN. There's what's going on with the planets in alignment for us to co-create something absolutely magical and fabulous. And so somebody has decided with all that money to harness people in confusion and fear. Don't you think that's a strange choice for people to make when there are so many other choices? I've seen movies on YouTube that have high frequency sounds like 528 or 999, and they show for 1 hour, sometimes for like 4 or 5 straight hours, filmmakers have chosen to put high vibrational music and made visions, beautiful imageries of nature, and nature all over the world. The sand dunes, the Antarctica. I'm making it up. Obviously not Antarctica if you know anything about that. But the snows, the snow-capped mountains, eagles, deers, coyotes, wolves, all kinds of beautiful images. with high frequency music. Joe Dispenza put out a series of kaleidoscope movies to help people learn how to go into a zone when they meditate. I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't you find it interesting that people who have hundreds of millions of dollars would make a movie to confuse the masses and put them into fear, rather than put something absolutely beautiful that would actually be a high vibrational movie that would make you happy as hell and you'd feel hopeful and excited about the future? Don't you think that's interesting? Like, you know? So here's my message to you. Don't waste your time on bullshit. Don't waste your time on bullshit messages. Go ahead and co-create. This is your time right now, from the 12th today until the 15th. I did not do the numerology for the 13th, 14th, 15th. Just add the numbers and shoot me up and I'll let you know. But the 12th, when you add certain numbers, they give you a certain vibrational energy for that day. Okay, it's not just the planets, though. Yes, that's very important too, actually massively important, as we know with the Egyptians creating certain monoliths and other ancient civilizations creating monoliths based on planetary movements in the sky and positions. So we know that for a fact, right? But also look at add the numbers, like what is 1212? So that 1212 is 24. 24 is 6. Okay, so let's add 1212. 24 plus 2, because now I'm going to add 20, 23. So 24, okay, plus 2, that's 26, plus 2, that's 28, plus 3. Am I correct? Right? 28, so 3, that would be 31. 31 is 4. 4 is taking on karma. Now, you can take on good karma as well as negative karma. So take on positive karma. Go ahead, if you're in a twin flame journey, co-create a new contract with your twin flame. Get some things done today. Be positive, be happy, be excited about the new earth. Turn your head away from bullshit. In my video, I did mention The War of the Worlds by Orson Welles. He did it was freaking brilliant. He did a radio show that my father was alive, actually, when it was happening. My father was born in 1923, so I think he was about 8. So 1931, I might be off on the timing, whatever. He was up in New Jersey. Anyway, long story short, my father was listening to this radio show with his grandmother and his Aunt Sissy. And all over the upstate New York, people were listening to The War of the Worlds. Go listen to that for the hell of it, for shits and giggles. And people were freaking the fuck out, okay? They thought that the Martians had invaded them, okay? So, and some people actually harmed themselves, okay, thinking this was it. So, don't play into the hands of the 1% anymore. Don't play into the hands of people who are the minions of the 1%. Don't do that. Right now is an incredibly potent time. It is magical. This is a magical time that we live in. We are not chosen. We volunteered, which is way more badass than being chosen. Again, anything that feeds your ego, your false ego, the monkey mind, shy away from that. Step into your power. You fucking volunteered to do this work. This is extraordinary. You guys are like badasses. You're like lions. You're warriors. You're shamans. You're high priests and priestesses. It's really exciting. But don't waste your time on shit that is going to either confuse you, put you in a place of fear, or have you argue or try to figure out the symbolism of a message that is nothing but distracting you from the ability to sit cross-legged in nature or to do your 369 journal and meditate, manifest the world you want to live in. Pull in books that make you happy. Pull in books that give you clarity. Pull in movies. There's tons of stuff you guys can watch on Gaia that will bring in clarity instead of bringing in confusion. Like, be discerning. Watch how... I'm like in shock, okay, that people are going down that rabbit hole trying to figure out what all this... Who gives a fuck? Is it positive? Is it uplifting you? Does it make your heart feel light? Or does your heart feel heavy and dense and scared? The movie... Hang on, okay, contact... Okay, hang on for a quick second. Is gay... Jesus Christ. On my way to the union with my TF on Twin Ray, Chicago. Okay, I'm sorry. I guess you guys, some of you guys are, I don't think some of you guys are getting the point of my live, unfortunately, and that's okay. I think some of you are, though. All right. Anyway, the books that you want to read to make you uplifted, I talk about them all the time. The Untethered Soul, Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls, The Surrender Experiment, Women Who Roam with the Wolves. Hang on, there's so many books. Oh, God. There's some beautiful books on Kundalini by Radha. Her name is Radha. She was an amazing yogini. I mean, there's so much. Just go on Gaia.com. Gaia.com will give you a lot of information as well. Regina Meredith does a lot of reviews on books. Okay? Any questions and so forth? Okay? So, invest at my brokest. When I was at my absolute broke. If I had the choice between having lunch that day, I would make sure my Gaia.com was paid. That's how important that channel has always been to me. I have friends who are broke as fuck, and you know, it's a different situation, and honestly, I treat them like my family, and they have access to it so that they can access it, because I think that's how important this channel is. Okay, if you want to wake up and feel cleared and clear and empowered and unified with source energy, God consciousness, Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, Krishna consciousness, whatever consciousness, right? Okay, you want to pull your attention into that direction and watch, and don't watch shit made by people who really never gave a fuck about us. Okay, the movie was made by the Obamas, and they chose to make a movie like that. Of all the movies, believe me, I've been in the business, just so you know. There are screenplays that you guys would cry with joy, but they won't make them because it would actually up your frequency. So just be careful with some of this shit. Women Who Run with the Wolves, such a great read. It is. It's one of the great books. So any questions or what have you? I don't do numerology. I did it for that particular purpose of today. Let me add a number. So tomorrow will be 13. 13, the number 13 is, again, 4. It comes out to 4, right? And it is, it's a recharging. It's a number of recharging, reintegrating, and so forth. 14 is magnetic communication with the public, and 15 goes back to 6, which here we go again with this beautiful energy of co-creating with the universe out of love. So you've got 3 solid days of power to co-create something fabulous. This is the time, if you want to look at anything, look at what's going on in the Gaza Strip and try to manifest in your own power, manifest peace in the Middle East. How's that for, instead of watching a stupid movie that is only going to scare the shit out of you? Okay, kind of like what, and Orson Welles had no idea when he did War of the Worlds that people would actually believe it. Watch the movie on War of the Worlds. It's actually fascinating on the psychology of human beings, and how crazy. And they're doing it again. And this movie came out the 8th. And the 8th, I did the numerology on that. It came out to 18. And 18 is spiritual material conflict. Perfect release on spiritual material conflict. And 8 is also 9. 18 is 9. 9 is God's number. It's a manifesting number. Again, you're being given a choice as to what you want to focus on and what makes more sense. 6 p.m. PS starts burning a red candle. Why red? I don't understand why it would be red. Why red when it should be white? Be careful with colors, my friends, because colors have beautiful energies. If you're working on your root chakra, then of course red. But that's if you want peace on earth, if you want purity of all aspects of your conscious connecting with source to co-create, white is always the candle you burn, always. I appreciate you're offering the opportunity to use energy for collective good. It should always be energy for your intent. Sorry, Thanos, I disagree, because red has a lot of interesting connotations. They're not all passion, sex, root chakra, and so forth. And it doesn't, so be discerning of colors. Okay? Green isn't for money necessarily, by the way, on a side note. Green is American money. It's not European money. It's not the euro dollar. So green doesn't mean money. Green is actually heart chakra connection. And the world and the earth, blue is more of an opening. So I would just say, thank you for sharing the red, but I'm not trying to, slap it down, but I have to make sure that I'm giving the best that I know from my own experience. When people have died and they were confused by how to leave their bodies, white. Always a white candle. It's always been white, unless it was something to do with a particular individual thing I was dealing with for myself. And then I chose an individual candle. Red is passion. Agave, you ever heard the Magdalene manuscript? I've been reading The Woman with the Alabaster Jar, which is about Mary Magdalena. I'm looking to read the Mary's, what in the hell is it called? Anyway, Mary's writings. In other words, oh God, I forgot the bloody name. The Gospels of Mary is what I was trying to find. So I'm trying to look for that. But like I said, you have to do you for what you want. But white is always, to be honest with you, even when we do ayahuasca, we wear white, okay? There's something about the white color. Okay, so it's a good read. You should check it out. The Magdalena's. I think I have it actually in my library, so I'll have to look, because I think somebody else did turn me onto it, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. I really do, Genevieve. Any other questions? Because my phone's gonna probably die, which is in a way is a good thing, or else I'd be here forever, as you know. So today, tomorrow, the 14th, magnetic communication with the public. 15th, magician, right? I want you to consider co-creating, doing your 369. There's an incredible 369 journal. It's called the 369 Project. It's, of all the 369 books that out there, it might be the most expensive, but it's actually the best. It's very much worth it. Or Gospels of Mary with Jean-Jacques Leloup. Oh, that sounds interesting. Okay, I'm doing a screenshot of it, Sharon. Thank you. Jean-Jacques Leloup. All right. Anything else is good. Anything else that you guys want to share about that? Be careful about these movies, okay? I just posted the video on that movie because one of my clients, customer, whatever, turned me onto it. She's become a friend. Turned me onto the movie, and when she said it was made by the Obamas, I was like, right off the bat, I was like, okay, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? It was, and sure enough, and I'm watching millennials talk about it, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Down the rabbit hole of negativity and fear and confusion and chaos within the self. If a movie or book doesn't make you walk away, in other words, if you walk away from having completed a movie or a book where you're not uplifted, excited, transformed in a positive way, relieved, laughing, crying through your tears, self-realized, it's really not a good idea to bother, especially now. This is, and it's funny how they're hijacking people's consciousness at right times. It came out on the 8th, by the way. In Kabbalah numerology, 8 is paying karma, just on the side note. And then when I did the whole numerology, it came out to 18 is spiritual and material conflict. Don't get materially conflicted or confused. Just right now is a time for you to really hyper focus on the planet, on your own personal life, on your connection with your twin, your beloved, your children, whatever, and make sure that you co-create a new earth, the new earth that we've been talking about for centuries in many of our incarnations, that is finally here. We volunteered. We're here for a reason. Every single one of you matters, and you have to do your part. And you cannot be in this consciousness of thinking that you're not ready, your ducks need to be in a row, after Christmas you'll get it done. No, bullshit. Today you start. And if you haven't done any major manifesting for 2024, we sure in the hell need it, because in 2021, 2022, many of you said, boy, I'm glad 2021's over. Many of you are going to say, I'm glad 2023 is over. That's great. Wonderful. We all do. And we all hope it's over. But we better start co-creating what we want to see in 2024, 2024, 5. Okay? We can't just say it's over and boom, we get slammed again with something else. We can't drop the reins. We can't let other people control what is manifested. And when the collective mind is controlled through movies and articles and situations, and it brings people down to their knees and flattens them out to the ground, is when we lose as a collective. There are so many of us, it's insane. Many of us are highly educated, very, very smart, on our own, self-educated and so forth. And so you really, really, really need to step up and say, what do I want to manifest for myself, for my family, for the planet? What do I want to do? How do I want to do it? Do I really want to watch that movie and make these idiots millionaires and make that movie money? Or do I want to try to help the narrative towards the positive rather than that? And so really, if you have friends who are planning to go see it or whatever, maybe talk to them about something more positive, more beautiful. Maybe do, instead of going to see a movie like that, maybe plan a Sunday dinner and invite everyone to the house, and maybe have, kaleidoscopes on the big screen TV, and high frequency music, and books strewn across the floor, and pillows and candles and beautiful ambient light and food and tea and whatever the hell you want, and create an atmosphere of collective co-creation with your friends and family, and do that. Okay? It's all Armageddon. You are so right. Not enough about the positive consciousness in the movie. It's been all Armageddon. They want us to buy into it. They want us to buy into it. They need us to buy. Do you understand this? It's not that they want. I'm going to rephrase. They need us to buy into it, because without our collective agreement and our collective consciousness to co-create the shit show they keep offering and shoving down our throats in these movies, we end up becoming their SLAVES. And don't think we don't. And so now you're being given, this is why you volunteered, because many of you have greater will and power to willingly break away, and also you have the power to influence other people to walk away from these images and these options. See, these are options, and they can't control us unless we all, oh my God, the movie, yay! No. You know what was interesting about movies? In the 70s, there were a lot of movies being made about spirituality, a lot. There was a camp doing all kinds of things about witches and this, that, and the other. And the witches, it was about black magic, okay? It was about hurting other human beings. There was that camp. But then there was another camp that was talking about telepathy, reincarnation, incredible movies, actually. Really, really beautiful movies that really showed us and brought us to a new awareness of our soul's immortality. And now all you see is just battles after battles after battles after battle. I mean, it doesn't matter what movie it is, or show. It's all that. There's nothing about other worlds where there was peace. Have you noticed that? The only movie that I really loved, and there was a kind of a level of consciousness into it, was Star Wars. I love Star Trek, but it was Star Wars. And even though they were battling, there was Luke, feel the force within you. There was Yoda, there was all these things. And I laugh today because none of the movies are showing us these have you noticed this? That they don't show us these philosophies that they did in the 70s? Luke, feel the force. And wow, what happened? Because now all I see is battles, and it's all good. Don't get me wrong. Love Game of Thrones, great show, and but there was none of that philosophical, spiritual understanding. on that level of consciousness. Something has definitely changed. And so we have to co-create what we want to see. And we have to co-create what we want to experience. And that's it. Nothing about spiritual resolution. Why does it have to be so esoteric? It doesn't. It doesn't. They just want to blow up a building in between having a guy levitate, but a building has to blow. It can't be a guy who's from the Syrian planet, and it's a people of elfins who are beautiful and they dress in medieval costumes because that's how it is in that planet, and they have a life. And it would be like some of these beautiful Native American, indigenous American fairy tales or stories that are peaceful about the coming of manhood of a young boy who meets the white bison and all that. Now, they don't want to make movies like that because we're not going to, they're not going to sell box office tickets. But what's interesting is that many of us who are in the new consciousness would actually go and invest and push all of our friends to go see it with us. We'd all go see it. So it's a choice. And fear is a tool that is used to subjugate consciousness and conscious awakening, and it's being done. So listen, my phone's going to die. So check out my 2 videos. I just posted them. One is for you to create a new soul contract with your twin. You can do this. And I wish I didn't have to leave, but I have to, or else I'm just going to literally cut you guys off, and you'll go, what the hell happened? Did she get cut off? So I might as well tell you that now. As it was, we are navigating, isn't it interesting? As if what we are navigating isn't interesting enough. Yeah. I mean, when they did a movie on, the last movie that I thought was worthy was when they did Shirley MacLaine's Out on a Limb. They did do a movie on that. And they also did the movie, The Celestine Prophecy, which is also a movie you might want to see. The Celestine Prophecy and Out on a Limb, the movie. Go check them out. It's about evolution and understanding of the unknown, unseen. Okay? Go check them out. It's about evolution and understanding of the unknown, unseen. Okay?